Hello friends, welcome back to our channel Learning Bees. Today I come with another topic of grammar, clauses. So without wasting time, let's begin and understand what are clauses. In this video, we are going to follow the topics like first introduction to understand what are clauses, then definitions, proper definitions of clauses, then the different types with examples, and the last will be the summary of the topic. So let's start. Introduction. Before understanding what are clauses, let's go back and try to recall what is a sentence. A sentence is made up of smaller units comprising of phrases and clauses. So, guys, what is a sentence? It is made up of different words, and these words are sometimes grouped together as a phrase or as a clause. So, in this topic, today's video, we are definitely going to be clear about what is a phrase and what is a clause, and of course what is a sentence. And there will be no confusion henceforth regarding these topics. So let's start. First, we'll look at what is a phrase. Phrase is a group of words having very little or no sense. There is no subject verb combination in a phrase. Okay, so what we understood? A phrase is a group of words having very little or no sense. In the garden, for example, on the table. What we understood by these words? Nothing. The sense is very negligible. We cannot understand what is the meaning of in the garden. It is incomplete. So, group of words together giving us very little or no sense. We can call it as a phrase. There is no verb in the sentence. There is no subject in the sentence. That's why we are not able to make out the meaning of those words. So that words, we can say that it is a phrase. Now, what is a clause? Clause is also a group of words, but the difference between phrase and clause is that a clause has a subject-verb combination and it gives complete or incomplete sense. That means a clause is a group of words wherein we have a subject and a verb in the sentence, finite verb. Okay? For example, the girl in red frock is my little sister. This is a sentence. In this sentence, in red frock, these three words, if we consider, it's a phrase. In red frock, it's a phrase. Group of words having no sense, no subject, no verb, isn't it? So it's a phrase. And which one is clause? Now let us take another example. The girl who is in red frock is my little sister. Who is in red frock? Now here who is in red frock is a clause. Because you know who means the girl. Is a verb, isn't it? So we have got subject also and we have got verb also. So here it makes a sense. Little sense. Even though there is no complete sense, but still little sense is there. Okay. We know about whom we are talking, the girl, and we also have a verb there. Okay. So this is a clause. Now let us understand more what are clauses. Now these clauses, they can be dependent or independent in the sentence. So these are parts of the sentence. So a sentence is made up of one or more clauses. Generally, in a sentence, one part is independent or main part of the sentence, and another part is dependent or subordinate clause, we can say. Dependent clause is also called subordinate clause because it is incomplete on its own. It needs the help of the main clause for the completion of its sense. Let us take one example. So what we understood, that the clauses can be dependent or independent in the sentence. A sentence can have both dependent clause and independent clause. Dependent clause is also called subordinate clause, and independent clause is called main or principal clause. Let's take one example. I know a boy who is a good chess player. I know a boy who is a good chess player. Okay. Now this sentence has a complete sense. Okay. It starts with capital letter. It ends with full stop. But if we consider the red part of the sentence, I know a boy. This is a clause. And another clause is who is a good chess player. This is another clause. Both are clauses, but first one is a main clause or a principal clause. It is having a subject, it is having a verb, and it is independent. It is not dependent on the another clause for completion of its sense. I know a boy. Yes, understood. For complete sense. So it can act as a one more another sentence. It doesn't need the other part of the sentence. Now let us focus on the other part, blue part of the sentence. Who is a good chess player? This is incomplete. Who, we know it's a subject about that boy. Okay. And is the verb. Okay. So we have subject also, we have verb also, but it is dependent clause because its subject is in main clause. I. Isn't it? Boy, for example, boy. Boy is the subject which is in main clause. And here the more and extra information about the boy is given in the second part. Which boy? Who is a good chess player. So second part is a dependent clause, who is dependent on the first part for the completion of the meaning. Okay. So clauses are made up of two parts, two types. It is main clause or principal clause and second dependent clause or subordinate clause. Now let us see the types of subordinate clauses. Subordinate clauses are of basically three types: adjective clause, noun clause, and adverb clause. Okay, all three are different. How they are different? Let us see. Adjective clause, as you can see by the name, it describes or gives more information about the noun or the subject in the sentence. So, this part of the sentence describes or gives more information about the noun. Since it is acting like adjective, that's why it is called adjective clause. It generally starts with small words, like they are called subordinators. Which ones? Like that, who, which, when, where. I know the place where he was murdered. Let us meet tomorrow. So these are different subordinators. We will see different examples so that we can understand what are adjective clauses. So examples are, that lady who is a teacher is my aunt. Now see, sometimes in the sentence principal clause can be bifurcated. Half part is in the beginning and half part is at the end. If you can see here, that lady is my aunt. This is the principal clause. And the dependent clause is who is a teacher. So This is who is a teacher is adjective clause because it describes the subject, that is lady, the noun in the sentence, main clause. Which lady? That lady who is a teacher. This is adjective clause, who is a teacher. Okay. I am reading a novel which is very interesting. I am reading a novel which is very interesting. Novel. Which novel? So novel is a noun, subject. And it is described or given, more information about it is given in the dependent clause, which is very interesting. So it is adjective clause. Now let's come to the noun clause. Noun clause is a clause which itself is a noun. Itself is a noun. It acts as a noun. It works itself as a noun in the sentence. Whole of it can be replaced by a pronoun. As you all know, the trick to find out whether it's a noun clause or not, you can replace the whole noun clause with a pronoun, because noun can always be replaced by a pronoun, isn't it? So let's do that in the examples. And one more thing is that noun clause generally starts with which subordinators? When, who, whom, where, whose, etc. Okay? And one more trick is that they answer the questions what and who. So let's see the example. I know where the treasure is. Okay? I know is main clause. Where the treasure is subordinate clause. And it's a noun clause. Why it's a noun clause? I know what? So we can ask a question. I know what? I know where the treasure is. This is the answer, isn't it? And it can be replaced by a pronoun. I know it. Okay? That's also correct. So it has passed both the tests. It can be replaced by a pronoun and we can ask a question. I know what? And the answer is where the treasure is. So this is a noun clause. Now let's come to the third type, that is adverb clause. It is usually used to qualify the meaning of verb or adverb or adjective in the sentence. So here adverb clause acts as an adverb in the sentence, just like an adverb. What are the functions of adverb? To qualify verb, adjective or adverb in the sentence. Similarly, this clause also does the same thing. Generally starts with subordinators until, after, as soon as, before, because, so, etc. They generally answer the questions when, where, how, why, etc. So such questions we can ask. Let's take one example. You may leave as soon as he comes. You may leave when? This question we can ask, isn't it? You may leave when? As soon as he comes. So as soon as he comes is adverb clause, because it is telling us about the time when we have to leave. It is qualifying the verb leave. Leave. Okay? So it's an adverb clause. Now we have come to the end of the video. Let us practice and identify the clauses in the sentence and tell the type, whether it's an adjective clause or adverb clause or a noun clause. So let us try. I know the girl who won the first prize. I know the girl who won the first prize. So which is the main clause? I know the girl. Which is the subordinate clause? Who won the first prize. What is the subordinator? Who. Okay. What question we can ask? I know the girl. Which girl? Which girl? So the girl is described here. Which girl? Who won the prize. So girl is a noun and noun is described. So it is adjective clause. Okay? Isn't it? Very good. Next. He confessed that he was guilty. Okay? He confessed. Main clause. That he was guilty. This is subordinate clause. Now, he confessed what? He confessed what? So that he was guilty is a noun clause. isn't it? And we can replace it with a pronoun. He confessed it. So it's a noun clause. Then, the hands that rock the cradle rules the world. The hands that rocks the cradle rules the world. Now, which is the main clause? The hands rules the world. Now here we can ask the question, which hands? Which hands? That rocks the cradle, isn't it? So here hands are described. Hand is a noun, so it's an adjective clause. That rocks the cradle is adjective clause. The hands rules the world is the main clause. Okay, now next. I know a boy whose father serves in the army. I know a boy whose father serves in the army. I know a boy. Which boy? So the boy is described. More information is given about the boy whose father serves in the army. I know a boy. A boy is described. So again it is adjective clause. This is also adjective clause. Okay, next one. I will not go until he arrives. I will not go until he arrives. So here I will not go. The action of going, verb, is qualified by this part. It is telling about up to which time you will not go. I will not go until he arrives. So it is qualifying the verb. So it is adverb clause. It is an adverb clause. Until is the subordinator. In fourth one, whose was the subordinator. In third one, that was the subordinator. And in second one also, that was the subordinator. So these are all subordinators. Last one. If you give respect, you get respect. Main clauses, you get respect. And you get respect. Okay. And the second part is if you give respect. When you get respect, there is a condition, isn't it? You get respect when, if you give respect. So there is a condition. So if is the subordinator. And this is an adverb clause. Okay? Because we are asking the question when. Okay. So this is adverb clause. Let's check out the answers. Yes. First was adjective clause, second was noun, third and fourth were again adjective, and last two were adverb clauses. Right? Okay. Well done, guys, for all the correct answers. Those who have not got correct answer, some answer might go wrong, but don't worry. You have to again and again watch the video, try to understand the concept, and definitely you will get all the correct answers. So in this way we can identify the clauses. I hope you understood the concept of clauses and the three main types of clauses and how to identify them. So now we have come to the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you have liked the video, please subscribe to our channel, share the videos with your friends. Bye.